well, we can go ahead and get started here so we don't take up any more time than we have to from everyone. I was going to go over a few things that might help some new people, but I think that based on everyone who's here, one of the things I was going to talk about was just kind of updates on using the task portal, how to attach files there. But I think, Lori, I already kind of went over that with you recently, and I know Adrian has done that, so we can probably skip over that. The other area that I wanted to bring up, and I'm not sure how much you're using this or need to use this, Lori, is we have that secure file storage on Google Drive. And some people have been using it a lot. Other clients haven't had a lot of need for it. But I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have that. It's a great place where you can have your remote professional create reports or other deliverables from the tasks using the Google Documents and have an easy place to do the collaborative editing and reviewing. Google Docs has a lot of great tools for doing comments. So like if you have them make a report or do a little product evaluation type thing, it's easy to go in there and make comments, tag your remote professional, and they get notified and are able to go in and address those and track changes, and a little bit easier than trying to use like an offline Microsoft Word document or Excel spreadsheet and emailing that back and forth a lot. And the other thing I wanted to bring up in this mastermind meeting was talking about when we have kind of big projects that we want to have the remote professionals take on, some techniques that help us and them with being successful in handling them. One thing, I did actually just talk to Lori about this last week or the week before, was talking about, if you have a big project, let's try to break it into individual milestones with specific deliverables that can be reviewed and, a good measuring point of the progress. If you just give the remote professionals a large task like, I don't know, build my website, for example, that's very broad, it's pretty vague. The odds are you'll end up with something that no one is happy with. And
Can I give an example of how I'm doing that right now?
Oh, perfect, please.
So one thing that we're adding that I haven't done in a year and a half or 2 years is sending out some postcards, like, coming soon, just listed, just sold postcards. And so the last ones I have are from a year and a half ago when, I was an individual agent, didn't have a team. So we have all new branding, all these things all need to be updated, right? And then we're going to have to send them out. So there are a few different parts to that. So I have created different tasks for my remote professionals to do. The first one being the design of that, right? And so the first thing is, and it's its own task in, the Monday portal of design this new postcard. And I give them, here's what I used before, here's some specific resources, here's what you need. And then a separate task, and I want that done this week because I want to be able to have a postcard ready to go. And so I think by doing the portions, you can also get that timeline set up. And then the second task is researching the best companies to use for getting these postcards printed and mailed. There's a lot of ones out there. I haven't done it in years, and so I need to know the best company. So that's a separate task. And then the third task is going to be making the procedure for doing that when we have a house that we're either listing for sale or that we helped a client just purchase. It's going to be, what's the procedure for doing that? Like, part of it is going in the tax records and pulling the addresses for neighbors. And then it's going to be making the Excel sheet from that. And then it's going to be, once we have the company that we're going to use, getting the design, updating it for that house, like putting the photo in, putting in the details, and then sending it to the company we decide to use of, here's the postcard for this specific house, here's the mailing list for this specific house it's going to go to. So I think the process of setting up this postcard system is really, at least 3 different tasks there. It's designing the new postcard template, coming up with which company we're going to use, doing that research, and then creating the procedure for how we're going to do it for every property. Harley, you're on mute.
That's actually very helpful. Thank you for that, Adrian. I've got some tasks that need to be done, and I realize that I myself don't even have enough information to get it accomplished. So how in the world is my remote professional going to be able to do that? So
Right. Yeah, I seriously just task them with researching, or I'll give them like a specific example and then go from there. Same kind of thing. I want to revamp our listing presentation. And I'm like, I'm not artistically, but I have some examples, and I'm going to like take the examples, and I'm just going to like in PDF, like X out the things I don't like, circle the things I like, and be like, use this to improve ours, make it look like this.
Yeah, that's excellent examples. What we can maybe go around and share some example cases of things we have used remote professionals for over the last month that might be new or unique, or we found have saved us a lot of time. One example that has really helped me this last few weeks is using one of the remote professionals to coordinate, find and then coordinate service providers to take care of things at our rental properties. In the past, when a tenant has emailed us and said, hey, the dishwasher's not working, it would take a lot to go and find a handyman that's available or appliance repair person and know whether they're going to be do a good job and what their rates were, and trying to sort those out just take a lot of time. And then once you have someone, trying to coordinate, all right, when are they available to show up? Okay, well, when's the tenant available to show up? And calling or texting and emailing all these different parties to make the job happen. Was able to just have a remote professional go and say, hey, do some research on the different Chattanooga Facebook networking, business networking groups. Make a post saying you're looking for a handyman, or search for handyman, see what other people have recommended. Find like the top 3 or 4 that have been recommended the most, and then give them a call. Make a little spreadsheet. This goes back to what Adrian was saying, like break down the project. So I was like, hey, step 1 is just let's make a list of people that have been recommended. Step 2, put them in a spreadsheet and reach out to each of them and ask them these specific questions that I'm interested in. I want to know what their service call fee is. I want to know what their typical hourly rate is, what kind of projects they do. And so the remote professional was able to go get all that information. And now I've got 3 really good handymen in my pocketbook that I can call upon when I need a handyman now, and know what their prices are going to be approximately and what their general availability is. So that is a huge time saver. Lori, did you want to share anything that you've been doing this last month with Camille that has been saving you some time?
Camille has done a great job of taking partial projects, things I started and didn't finish, and bringing them to fruition. Because of my trade, it's just a lot of checklists. And with that, she's been able to rework those, put them in the simplest form. We're going to use them like literally pen and paper to get us started and get us in the habit, see how we want to use them in the field, and eventually go digital. But we know there's going to be bugs working out. So this has been great. This is the first week. I'm into Wednesday, and we've only left behind 1 item. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but because of the checklist, all of a sudden, everybody's very aware of product and inventory. And this is really a base floor, actually, for an inventory system as well. So that's been incredibly helpful.
That's really great to hear. Do you have plans to have Camille eventually like order or monitor the inventory and like just go ahead and automatically order supplies for you when they get below a certain threshold, or what are you?
Oh my goodness, yes. So I just made a solid supply run earlier this week. Maybe it was even Sunday. And what that's allowing me to do is to actually make note and start an inventory detail of, I'm numbering products, I'm numbering things so that we can see how much are we using on that particular day of the week. My schedule runs in 2-week rotations for most of my residential. And this is just allowing me to literally bean count. And with that bean count, I can throw those to my CPA. And in the meantime, what Camille's already started is going to turn into something that, yes, she can track, she can shop for. And I'm actually digging up all of my equipment vendor info and ordering info from Amazon and trying to create a way where she can just jump in there, order for me, and I don't have to think as much. I can use that time for something else.
Yeah. Do you use a Amazon business account, or you just buy stuff using like your personal Amazon account right now?
Correct. My personal Amazon account.
So, Lori, I originally used my personal Amazon account as well. And then when I started using the remote professionals more, I created the free business Amazon account. And I have since, I will say, upgraded my business account to also be Amazon Prime. So the only downside is I am paying for 2 Amazon Prime memberships, my personal and my business one. But the flip side on that is with the business account, you can add people to order things and you have a lot of control over what they can do. Like you have a control over like the max amount the order can be or things like that. And you can even have what I thought was so cool, because I have certain things they order the same kind of you that like we might order the same thing again and again, kind of like a wish list. You can make a shopping list in Amazon. And so you can put things, and you can even have different lists with different themes. So I have, for example, I have like my under contract gifts and then my closing gifts. And those are 2 different shopping lists, and they're lists that have, there's like 5 different things I might get as an under contract gift and 5 different things I might get as a closing gift. And so they make it there super easy. And then my admins can go onto my business account and they can just choose this product, order it, and my credit card is saved in there that I've put in there. So they never need it. All they need is the CVV code. So they never see all of the credit card or anything like that. They just put the CVV code in, and they can put in people to buy. Well, I guess you're sending it all to yourself. So it's a little easy to have that one address, but I even have them, like they send the stuff, they order it and send it direct to clients all through that Amazon business account. And there's a ton of controls and safety things in there. So you don't have to worry about them buying stuff for too much money or doing anything like that.
Man, that's great, because we have a lot. I've probably got 4 people, me, my husband, and a couple of the kids on my Amazon Prime, and I'm just thinking, the whole train wreck that we all know is getting ready to happen if I bring in a remote professional into that zoo. And so this is great, things I've never investigated. So, yep, there we go. One more write-off. Here we go. But I mean, what a wise investment of time and money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's really wonderful. And they even ask, like I have in mind, for example, we have one product and it had gone up like $5. And in their procedure for ordering things, I have, if something goes up in price by more than like $2, check with me in case I want to buy something different. And they did that. So something had gone up $5 and they were like, you still want to get this. And so it worked really well.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Good news. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other examples, Adrian, for this last month of what you've been using your remote professionals for?
Well, one thing I did that like I kind of done before was a little different. We have our own house that we're selling, and it needs a termite treatment. And normally, because it's not like in our standard flow of like, this is a client's house, it's like a personal house that I own. I usually handle more of my personal house stuff myself, but I was like, this is stupid. I should not be doing it. So I just forwarded to my admin the email with the estimate. And I was like, you can call them, you can order this. This is what I want. And it was so much easier.
Yeah, so another thing that I've been trying to get more on lockdown for our assistants this last month is kind of improving the system for them taking over our business and personal accounting. So we've got a household budget for our personal income, and we also have the accounting for all of our business endeavors where we need to categorize. Mostly it's just categorizing expenses. That's really the thing that just takes so much time. And there's sometimes things that can be complicated that require, we get billed for multiple properties on one invoice from a service provider like our landscaper. He knows 4 different houses, so it's one bill. And I've found that now I took the time and just went through it. Okay, I'm going to go do like 1 month's worth of reconciliation on QuickBooks, record my screen, and most of these are recurring things every month, so it's going to be the same type of process. And showed how to split transactions, showed how to attach the invoice to all the split transactions. And now one of our remote professionals is taking that off my plate, and that's saving me several hours every single month that over the course of the year gets me a whole day back at least.
Nice.
So anyone having any challenges or things that have come up in the last month that have kind of been something that has been difficult and you've had to overcome, or you have questions about the best way of handling the situation with remote professionals?
I have a question. Because I'm so backwards on all of this, meaning very little system, even for myself when it comes to admin. Oh, I can find it. It's there. And it's even in a folder. But who knows how it's marked, So I'm finding myself grasping actually for information, and I've got a gal local. She is brilliant, and I'm wondering what y'all's thoughts are. Would it be worth my time and money to bring her into my actual office, and her and I just kind of do a marathon information consolidation, so that I can forward that on to Camille when I need her to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be part of the project plan, is to bring Marlena in and help her, or have her help me consolidate some specific stuff that I know my remote professional is going to need. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Or is there an easier way to do it?
Well, depending on what the files are and what the documents are like, there are services that you can just kind of throw a bunch of papers in a box, be it photos or files or folders, mail it away, and they have like industrial scanners, and they scan everything in and just email you back digital copies of everything. So that could be one option that might be more economical, depending on if you don't need that person kind of motivating you in person to get it done. And there's definitely value in having someone that you're paid to do a task and is in your face and making sure that you get that job done. There's value there. But if you don't necessarily need that and you just need to digitize a ton of paperwork but want it organized, you could just digitize it and then put it up in the cloud storage on the Google Drive, and then have your remote professional go through and separate things out and organize it after the fact.
Okay, that might be an option. I've got
another thing to consider might be, if this other person that you're thinking of bringing on, whether there's like, I'm not sure if they have just a business of like helping people organize, or if it's just like a acquaintance that you would like to bring on with your business. But if you have a role you see them filling in your business and kind of longer term, then it may be worth having them do that as kind of getting an intro to your business and then moving into a larger role to help take things off your plate here locally.
I definitely will need that. This gal right now specifically kind of plays a role in helping game plan, create the goals, make sure they're consecutive to what I'm really wanting. And but she's also really good at not getting tangled up in little details when it comes time to cleaning out closets. So yeah, I may run that by her and see, but I like your thoughts there, Harley. I'm thinking I probably just need a brain dump on paper and take a look at it and see what's going to be the best avenue.
Yeah. And, one thing you might do is ask Camille to just do a little bit of research and find, a couple of different services that do this digitizing and kind of evaluate them for you. So then you have hard numbers in front of you of like, okay, if I send them a box of 1,000 documents or however, some metric, you kind of have a feel for what that price is. And then you have data that you can use to make the decision of, well, it's going to cost me $200 to just ship it and digitize it. Is that cost more or less than I'd spend having someone be here in person? And what is the value of having someone be here in person, kicking my butt to like do this versus the $200 of doing it myself?
Right. Good.
Awesome. Well, that's some great feedback and sharing here today. That was all that I had to talk about. Well, we should have some more people joining us next month. We got a couple of new clients onboarding this month, so we'll have more to discuss with people. But I appreciate everyone taking the time to join us this afternoon. With any other kind of closing remarks or questions that we can help with? All right. Well, keep an eye out in your email for PR is going to send out a copy of a link to the recording of this, so you guys can always go back and reference it.
Great, thank you.
I do appreciate that too. It's helpful.
All right. Well, we will talk to everyone soon.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.